onda, raza? ¿Qué onda, gente? Pues aquí estamos con otro gameplay en vatos jugando. Esta vez toca The Stanley Parable, un juego pues muy diferente a todos los que al menos a mí me ha tocado conocer. Es un juego que empezó como un tipo mod de Half-Life y lo volvieron a hacer unos años después, y la verdad es que al parecer al principio es un juego común y corriente, un World Simulator normal, pero después te das cuenta que para nada es normal. Entonces pues vamos a empezar.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in. Though he had been made exactly for this job.
Con la realidad es mera coincidencia, ¿no? Para los que somos godines.
And then one day something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Pues vamos a ver. Pues digo que cualquier parecido con la realidad es mera coincidencia, ¿no? En cuestión a los que pues somos godines, que nos dan instrucciones, y el día que no lleguen, pues qué pedo, qué pasó.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
¿Dónde estará la raza? Algo que se me hace bien cabrón de este juego es el narrador, o sea, el pinche voz. No sé si me recuerda un poco al narrador de Más extraño que la ficción. Sale el Will Ferrell. Creo que es la estrella, el pinche narrador aquí. Pues sí, no hay nadie a la chingada. Al parecer nadie tiene nombre aquí, ¿no? Puro pinche número. Soy el 420. Soy el 421, pero no llego a oficina, nomás tengo un pinche módulo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Vamos a hacerle caso al buen narrador. A la izquierda. ¿Son qué? casi las 12, 11 y feria.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Pues vamos con el jefe para encontrar respuestas. Te digo, he estado jugando muchos World Simulator.
Coming
no
to
sé
a
si
staircase,
muchos.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Si pudiera ir abajo, me da la opción, abajo o arriba. Pero el narrador dice que arriba está la oficina del jefe. Ay, no intenté abrir puertas. No, vamos a hacer exactamente lo que dice. Supongo que esa es la oficina del jefe.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
¿Cómo podría saberlo? 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Sí, los aplasté al azar, ¿no?
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Pasillo secreto. Que con mucha suerte logré aplastar los números correctos. Dice el narrador. Nada. Vámonos por el elevador.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Parecer no era una oficina normal, ¿no? Sí, la neta, el humor, ese pinche sarcasmo irónico.
Stanley
no sé.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ah, bueno. Sí, pues sí. Escape. Bueno, pero este auto me dijo que Stanley fue directo aquí. Ok. Supongo que pues tengo que aplastar aquí.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Se parece a lo de cerebro de los X-Men. Al parecer, así como muchas pantallas. ¿No? Sí, ¿no? Tipo cerebro esta madre. Menos chingón, pero sí.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Pues sí, ahora más que cerebro parece como la oficina del señor Burns. todos los numeritos de los empleados. ¿Quién lo hubiera dicho abajo de una oficina godines? Todo lo que se esconde.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Habrá sido manipulado el Stanley. Por eso era tan feliz con su rutina godín.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Sí, cierto.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Las oficinas de... Sí, cierto, parece lo del arquitecto de Matrix también. Yo creo que eso es aún más acertado.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Me he visto de héroe, entonces termino de una vez con todo esto. Offline. O sea que por eso tenían a todos godines, porque les lavaban la mente, les lavaban el coco. Se le ruló. ¿Qué onda? ¿Tú no has oído nada de este juego, Rulo? Tengo que acabar.
And when at
con
last
esto.
he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Es mi obligación apagarlo. Por el bien de todos. Soy un héroe.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
¿Qué hay ahí? La felicidad, al parecer. Nadie que me dé órdenes, solo una pradera con pajaritos. Sí, güey, bien
Stanley felt the
profundo.
cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Hasta se libró de mis órdenes porque yo no lo estaba moviendo. Era libre, totalmente libre Stanley. Pero este juego, lo chingón que tiene, las 11:20, es que lo curado es, como dice él, todas las posibilidades, como lo dijo ahorita el narrador, que había en el camino. Entonces,
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
al parecer volvió a empezar el juego, ¿no? Pero pues ahora vamos a hacer cosas que no hicimos en la primera vuelta. Todo al parecer está igual. Esto era diferente, ¿verdad? A lo mejor eso cambió un poco. Pero si se acuerdan, aquí empezaba la primer disyuntiva.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ok. Él me dice que entre a la izquierda, me iré a la derecha.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Pues, ok. No sabía que había un story lounge, pero vamos a ver. No puedo abrir ninguna puerta.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Oh, cuando podía beber soda y tenía monedas, porque no tengo ahora.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Oh, mamón. Qué mamón, pues estoy viendo. Algo ha de ver aquí.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
O sea, no mames. ¿Qué tiene, güey? Estoy viendo. Te desespera.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Ajá. Perdón. Vamos a quedarnos un poquito más para hacerlo enojar al vato, porque al parecer está muy apurado que siga con mi pinche camino. ¿No? Ya no me vas a decir nada. Ok, pues seguimos entonces. Perdón, señor narrador.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Perdón. La puerta de la izquierda. ¿Agarro por aquí o me voy por acá? Vamos a agarrar por aquí, pues, para que no
And
se
so
vea.
he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ah, o sea, por ahí, pero es que ahí hay un elevador. ¿Qué onda, Javier? Link. Ahí es donde estaba la... Oh, man. Perdón. Ya estoy como el Mario. Si escuchan sonidos guturales, es que estoy tomando una cerveza.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ok. En este punto ya estoy en las mismas. Closet. A ver. ¿Sí se pudo abrir esta? ¿Qué hay?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Ok. ¿Tú, Link, ya habías jugado este juego?
Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
O sea, este vato tiene muy poca paciencia, no mames, nomás si no hacen lo que él dice.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Ok. Me voy a quedar un poquito más nomás para romperle más las bolas.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Hola Alejandra, mi esposa. Me saludó por el chat, me vuelo. Hola, amor. La voz del narrador es otro pedo, Link Machine. La neta.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿Y si me voy por abajo? Vamos por abajo. ¿Se puede abrir? No. Más abajo.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Ahí te contesto.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Haz de cuenta que eres un godines y de repente desaparecieron todas las personas en la oficina y vas a ver qué pedo.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Qué pedo.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Se volvió loco el Stanley. A la verga. No mames. Qué pinche bizarro. David Moreno, es que haz de cuenta que un día este vato es un godines, güey, que nomás está en esta computadora, pero un día ya no llegaron cosas que hacer y este vato se dijo, ¿qué pedo? Porque nadie me manda cosas. Entonces salió y no había nadie ya, nadie hay. Entonces en la primera vuelta que hicimos le hicimos caso al narrador, a todas las cosas. Él te va guiando, ¿no? Entonces ahorita estamos ya en el punto, o sea, le das como, terminas el juego como en 10 minutos y luego vuelves a empezar, es como un loop infinito. Pero ahorita no le hice caso al narrador, entonces me llevó a un final bien raro. O sea, el final real es que tú llegas y hay una fábrica de control mental y tú apagas el botón y eres el héroe y eres libre, ¿no? Entonces cuando no le haces caso al narrador se encabrona. Y en eso estoy ahorita, contradiciéndolo. Básicamente de eso se trata el juego, de sí, darle la vuelta y hacerle, pues en la primera vuelta le haces caso al vato, ¿no? Porque pues es un videojuego y regularmente eso es lo que haces, seguir las órdenes. Lo divertido de este juego es cuando no sigues las órdenes, es cuando todo se empieza a volver muy caótico y bizarro. Por ejemplo aquí.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Él me dice que vaya a la izquierda, pero tengo las dos posibilidades, pues entonces ¿por qué hacerle caso si puedo irme a la derecha? Lo voy a hacer otra vez. Y vas a ver cómo va a reaccionar este vato.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Entonces trata como que de arreglar la historia el vato, pero...
Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Entonces es bien sarcástico el cabrón, pues. Incluso aquí si me quedo más, ahorita va a rezongar. Guacha.
Really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Pero bueno, ya me voy.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Que agarre por la izquierda. El final el último que vimos fue porque agarré por la izquierda. Ahora me iré derecho.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Sí, a huevo, no sé seguir órdenes. No se explica cómo no me han despedido hace años, ¿no? Disculpen si me muevo medio torpe, pero es que no estoy acostumbrado a jugar juegos de PC, a moverme con el mouse y el teclado. ¿Qué dice aquí? No saltes el cargo en movimiento. Se penalizará con 1000 bolas. Y si saltas a 5000. Y si me tiro, nomás para ver qué pasa. Pongan ahí en el chat si me tiro o no. O me subo al cargo. ¿Qué hago? Voy a dar vueltas como estúpido por mientras. No, no es cierto. Pongan a alguien algo. Me subo. Me tiro. Me subo y me tiro. A ver, ya, se tardaron.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting,
Fer!
Stanley.
¿Qué onda, Fer?
Someone you've forgotten about.
Me tiro, arre,
Please,
me tiro.
stop. What? Really? You're in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Ya sé lo que me vas a enseñar, güey. Estarás de mi lado, en serio. ¿Qué onda, Fer? No mames. Qué gusto saber de ti, güey. Pues aquí ando de youtuber con mis compas, ¿cómo la ves? Jugando juegos raros. ¿Ya jugaste este juego tú, güey? Vamos a ver, este güey se enojó porque me tiré. Dice que está de mi lado. Vamos a ver. El narrador hablando del narrador. Dice que me lo va a demostrar que está de mi lado.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Ok. ¿Le hago caso o no le hago caso? No le voy a hacer caso, chingue su madre. Para hacerlo enojar más.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, me voy por la azul. Tú no me mandas, cabrón.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Ok. ¿Esta no se abre? No. Ok, pues me iré por la puerta roja. Todo bien.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Perdón, estaba checando algo. Ya, o sea, me tenía dando vueltas el cabrón.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
¿Qué hay ahí?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
¿Te sientes feliz,
I
Chichi?
actually feel happy.
Pero esta historia no se trata de ti, narrador, se trata de Stanley. ¿No? Super efectos. Ok. Ya me voy.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Pues ya, narrador. No me puedo quedar ahí para siempre.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Pero, o sea, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué me tengo que regresar? ¿Qué va a pasar aquí?
Good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
¿Por toda la eternidad? Claro que no. A ver, no. Narrador, lo siento. No me puedo quedar ahí siempre.
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Lo siento.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
Lo siento. Tengo que hacerlo. Supongo.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
No se trata de ti, viejo. Se trata de la historia de Stanley. ¿Qué pedo?
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Chingue su madre. Me voy a tirar.
No! Oh, thank God you lived.
No me
I
morí.
was worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Voy a ir nomás para que te tranquilices tantito. Pero que esto es un deber.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Pero eso es lo que quieres tú, no lo que quiero yo.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Estoy peleando con una voz.
No, what are you doing, Stanley? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
No sé. Dime tú. Creo que esto solo se acaba tirándome y muriendo. Lo siento, narrador. Adiós. Fuck.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
No, no puedo. No puedo, ya quiero que esa historia se acabe porque...
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Perdón, pero no me puedo quedar ahí para siempre. No mames. Qué risa. Ya, tengo que morirme para que esto acabe. ¡No mames!
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Pues sí. De eso trata el juego, ¿no? De ser libre. Pues yo decido morir, morro.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Lo siento, narrador. Pero a lo que sigue. Vamos a empezar otra vez.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
¿Sí? ¿Que no? ¿O qué pedo?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
A ver.
This was
¿Qué
not the
otra
correct way to the
alternativa
meeting
había?
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
Okay.
just to admire it.
Me tiré, pero pude
The
no
lounge
haberme
was
tirado.
sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Me voy a tirar, nomás para ver qué pedo. Sí, me tiro. Ahorita me subí al cargo, ahora me voy a tirar. A ver.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Perdón, sí. Soy muy poderoso. Voy por una cerveza volada. Bueno, no. Esto cargó demasiado rápido. Ahorita iré por una.
When Stanley came to a set of 2
cabrón,
open doors,
salí muy
he
rápido
entered the
ahora.
door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Recuerdo que aquí había...
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Chingue su madre el mundo. Ah, mira, mi esposa me trajo uno porque me escuchó en la transmisión.
He wanted to wander
Qué
about
machín.
and get even
Gracias,
further
amor.
off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go from here it's left.
A ver, parece que está jugando este pinche narrador ya. A ver, ok, vamos a ver.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Ok, a ver, esto es lo que lleva la rienda, estás enojado. Muy bien.
No,
Oh.
not that. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Check the script by here.
Let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ok. Gracias. Sí, tengo que ir para allá. ¿Cómo entró el carro ahí? Ah, ok. Ahí hay una puerta. Okay.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Okay.
We just need to back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. Completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Se oye raro el audio. ¿Cómo le hago? Se está dobleteando el audio.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
¿Se oye raro o no se oye raro? Díganme si se oye dobleteado.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Well, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or...
Le digo, no a ti, no le
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
Ok. ¡Ey! ¿Está abierta esa? Están abiertas todas las puertas. ¡Wow! Pero están abiertas todas las puertas. ¿Esta cuál es? Se sigue oyendo raro.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Ah, qué chingado. El chivato no aguanta nada.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Díganme si se está escuchando raro. Por favor.
Okay, yep,
Oh,
it's
cabrón.
worse. I might be remembering this wrong.
Qué
It's
pedo.
possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Oh, qué chingado. ¿Qué tuve que hacer? Oh, qué pedo.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
Qué pedo.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Se está haciendo vivo este vato. Oh, qué verga. Qué pedo.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
No.
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Pues,
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. Say,
pues gracias.
so, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Por favor. Ok. Para que haga caso tengo que seguir la pinche línea. Pues.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Pues bueno, no sé por qué se escucha doble. Qué mal pedo. Seguiré la línea. Ay, pero... ¿Sí? Por aquí no era, porque... Bueno, sigo la línea. Perdón.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
No, man.
Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Ok. Ya vamos a hacer una hora de esta madre. Yo creo que... Pero no, para esto sí es una hora. Yo creo que a la hora la vamos a parar. Qué pedo, la neta, madre. No me acuerdo las paredes, lo siento, narrador.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Es neta. ¿La voy a dibujar o qué pedo? Ya sé lo que puedo hacer para que no se dobletee el sonido. Espérenme tantito. ¿Qué tal así? ¿Ya no se dobletea?
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
No mames, pinche desmadre.
Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Esto no está funcionando, narrador.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Y luego el line sale con TM, ¿no? O sea... A ver. Pusiste una línea, loco.
You know what, Stanley?
Okay.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ah, te pusiste creativo, loco.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
Perdón.
I'm ready for it.
Ajá, no es como que puede hacer mucho aquí. Ok.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Ok, salió la línea de nuevo. Al parecer eran amigos antes ella y el narrador. Not anymore.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay,
Es neta,
so
me
I
pongo
know
a dar
that
vueltas
each
en
door
círculos.
has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So
Trae un
starting
desmadre
from the
este
right,
vato.
let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Ajá.
Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Ok.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Híjole.
The confusion ending.
Todos los finales.
That's what this is. It's all one giant ending. And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well,
Qué
who
pedo.
consulted me? Why don't I get to decide?
No mames.
Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Parece niño chiquito este
Timer
cabrón.
stopped. Does that mean... did we do it? Did we break the cycle? Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
¿Qué va a pasar? Pues, no
So,
sé. Estamos en una
okay.
callejón sin salida.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey.
Es
Though they're
neta.
always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't
No,
we?
pues qué divertido,
Eventually.
¿no?
Well, in the
Espera.
meantime,
Yo creo que aquí la vamos a dejar. Aquí la vamos a dejar. Pues hemos estado subiendo un chingo de contenido al canal, la neta. Hay un chingo de videos. Todos los días, literal, de la semana, estamos subiendo un video. Pues ahí están. Lléguenle. Hay muchos gameplays de muy diferentes juegos. Está esta madre Stanley Parable, que está bien pasado de lanza, bien raro. Es algo muy muy diferente, yo creo, a cualquier juego. Rompe la cuarta pared bien cabrón. Está lo del gameplay de Undertale, que es otro pedo también y es algo bien diferente. Está el Rulo jugando Detroit Become Human, que la neta está chida la historia, muy ad hoc ahorita con todo lo que está pasando. Lo mejor de racismo es un racismo diferente, pero pues igual racismo a fin de cuentas, o no sé cómo llamarlo, pero es discriminación de alguna manera. Y el Link está jugando The Last of Us, el grandioso The Last of Us. Mañana hay podcast, cáiganle, se va a poner chilo. Y pues aquí somos vatos jugando. Nos vemos, gente bonita. Hasta luego.